How are we doing today, guys? It is an absolutely gorgeous day in the markets. Welcome back. And today we are doing a one-stop shop. Everything in this video. This is no cuts, no takes. We're just rolling with it. And I want to say I'm grateful for each and every single one of you guys, as we are only, I believe it's 19 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. So before I start this, guys, slap the freaking button and let's run straight into the video. We're going to be going over IWM, AMC, GameStop, and Nio, as tomorrow the markets are closed. I just want to give a quick little recap of where I think we are and why I think we are there, and go over some of the technical setups that we've kind of covered and established in these markets, these risk on assets markets, beginning to look really, really nasty, guys. Really, really nasty. So I want to start with the overlying, right, the most important index, IWM, the Risk on Assets Index, seeing a lower print in green volume while also seeing another bullish day in the markets, clearing this neckline while getting, right, you are about to get that kiss. The French kiss, right? The Picasso, the 9-day crossing above the 50. Now, what that'll do is that is the first time you're getting that cross from the 9-day since back here in April, guys, when you gapped up 3.52% in one freaking day. So that is going to be fascinating to watch, guys, as you go towards your all-time high at 252, only $6 away, right? Gets you groovy, gets you fun. $6 away from your all-time high as you continue to see this break further in price. So it's going to be very interesting to watch. Additionally, guys, we have almost closed out the week with a triple bullish engulfing candlestick on the weekly time frame, guys. This is huge, because the last time you saw this, guys, was right back here in June. Look no further, right? You had 1-2 weeks in a row of depressing price action before you saw a boom candle of 3% of the week. This one's closer to 5%. And what pursued was, right, you cleared this entire 2-candle range, swallowed it up, ate it up like candy, in this one candle, and then you saw a 3.53% candle persist. And from that, right, you could take just the measurement. You saw a 18% run on an index, guys. That is huge. It's tremendous, because that 18% could be 30, could be 40, could be 50% for AMC and GameStop and Nio, right? But what I'm watching closer here on this chart, guys, is what you're about to do on the weekly time frame for your RSI. You are so freaking close, guys, that if you get this confirmed candle close, that I think you will open up next week green because of the bullish sentiment of this weekly close. And what that'll essentially do is that'll act as fuel to pass above this resistance trend on the RSI and this RSI band. And this RSI band has been tested many times, right? Tested here. Each time took you to an all-time high on IWM. Now, it has not been crossed to the upside, though, since April, when you saw this extreme fear sell-off of 30%, guys. We are currently in extreme fear, only down, I think it's like... it's something silly. Get out of here, stupid thing. Only down. Come on. 8%. So just to give you guys that perspective, right? We're playing back this sell-off, about to cross the RSI band like we did here. That rose you 40 freaking percent, guys. Let's freaking go. We are playing back that same scenario. And if you see that bullish bid go into next week, that will act as a propellant to another all-time high in IWM, which is exciting for our stocks like Nio, like GameStop, like AMC, right? So let's get straight into Nio. Nio stock had freaking fantastic earnings. And so that's why I'm very shocked as to why you're kind of delaying down here, printing a back-to-back bearish spinning top candle after these roller coasters, right? Closing right underneath. What was your close? 546. So 546 is below. It's below 560, and you have until Friday to change that. Because if you do not, guys, and you get a close below the 200-day EMA for the second or third day in a row, moral of the story is the longer you kind of dance around 560 and consolidate and trade flat here with no volume, and the longer you stay beneath this 9-day EMA, right, this sloping red line, the more bearish you become. Because if you continue to consolidate here, you're going to have this line slice through your 200, and what that's going to do is that's going to act as short-term bearish momentum to then go fill the gap at 514, which is not the end of the world, right? I don't want to make that sound like it's just that, right? It's not the end of the world, but what it is short-term downside after seeing an already short-term move down of 30%. So considering that IWM is having a beautifully blessed week, I'd like to see a little bit of strength from the Nio Bulls, especially seeing his earnings were so positive. If you're able to get that bid, guys, into the end of the week, you need to get above this 9-day EMA, currently sitting at 577, and then test your 2 gap fills. You have one gap fill sitting here at 660 and the other one at 711, guys. If you can successfully get above 2, I would just anticipate maybe you trade in this channel a little bit further before seeing your break to the upside. If you don't, right, the bearish scenario is you break down here, you fill the 519 gap, and then you come down and you fill what you have not filled yet, and that is your 451 gap. So 451, we'll mark it on the chart. It's always good to stay aware. Looks like we already do have it marked there. In 514. It's always good to stay aware, guys, of the technical support and resistance of each scenario. Prepare yourself emotionally, right? That way, when it comes up or down here, you're not thinking it's the end of the world. It's just part of your trading thesis. And then you prepare accordingly, right? Not financial advice, but I am still long-term bullish on Nio, because when you zoom out to the weekly, right? You zoom out to the weekly and you're finding support exactly where you should. It's just how long can you hold on, right? Because here you held the 50-day EMA the same exact way you are now. 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, 4 candle. 4 weeks consolidation on top of this. So far you have two. You then saw a 32% squeeze candle, right, up, and then found the 9-day EMA, squoze again. Now, if you find that the 9-day EMA slaps you down, well, then you're going to have a chain freaking connection, right, of you had the daily 9 smacking you down. You're then going to have the weekly 9 smack you down. So you really don't want that, because you have a lot of momentum swinging like this within the stock right now. One thing I did want to cover is your bullish downturn in volume is still not broken. You still do not have any significant sign that this trend is swinging the other direction. So until you have that, guys, I remain with my bull case scenario and I remain with my bullish thesis. You still have a significant downturn in volume while seeing this 30% pullback. So it is in my belief, until this is snapped in either or direction, you're going to continue to see this consolidation within this channel, right? So that is the daily, the weekly so far. Monthly, nothing has changed, right? We know that. The quarterly, nothing has changed. You still look freaking phenomenal, guys. You still look amazing on Nio stock. What you're going to want to see here is this cross of the quarterly MACD for the first time since 2020, guys. And what happened since that cross? 174, 129%. We know this, right? Good example of what to expect. Maybe not as extreme, but this is the quarterly MACD cross on open. What happened once you got the quarterly MACD cross? Well, you saw this lower low, and then boom, right? What's another one? HYMC. HYMC is a really good example. Currently sitting at $11. This was your quarterly MACD cross. The whole macro flips on its head, right? You run almost 500%. These are all great examples of possible profits of the quarterly MACD, but that is what I'm hoping to see on Nio, guys. Hoping, right? Let's go over GME quick here. Our thesis remains the same. Nothing has changed. You see this breakout momentum from the falling wedge. Finishing the day, another green day on GameStop, but you are within this downturn in volume while seeing the breakout. So in my opinion, you're going to come up here to the 50-day EMA at 22.46 going into the end of the week. If you can see bulls step into the volume profile, that is an opportunity to break it. If not, I do believe you're going to see some kind of rejection. Whoops. Some kind of rejection. Along the lines of that, right? It might be nasty. It might be everything you don't want it to be. But that is what I'm looking for on GameStop. You need this volume, especially on a RSI wedge breakout, right? You go up to GameStop here. GME. Go to the daily or the 4-hour. And you can see how hard the RSI wedge was and how much it's ripping. And then you see price, right? That is a touch of bearish divergence. If I look at my little chart here, just give me 1 second. That is a touch of hidden bearish divergence, seeing as the stock has made a lower high, but the RSI has made a higher high. That is hidden bullet or hidden bearish divergence, guys. So be careful. You're seeing volume at a relative low level here on GameStop, while you see this pump out of this consolidation pattern. So if you see this dry powder pump, right, that's what I like to call it. Expected rejection. Maybe a touch of bullish divergence, right? And then your actual move. So that's what I'm watching on GameStop. If I go to GME on the weekly, you're doing something very similar to IWM. And this is where I kind of keep my bullish momentum off of this breakout. If you can see the volume step in here, guys, you have the opportunity to have a double bullish engulfing, just like IWM is. Get out of here, Razor. Just like IWM is, right? And that hopefully carries and spills into next week. You're seeing the weekly MACD, my favorite trading indicator, guys. Hands down, my favorite trading indicator. Beginning to curl up. So that is a very good sign for the bulls. If IWM can continue to hightail it, that's going to act as a potential turnaround for GameStop. And if this can continue to squeeze up, you're going to potentially see it cross for the first time since this 10% weekly, 4%, and 1% weekly candle. I mean, you had this cross here. I mean, we can go over a couple of different examples, but this indicator is literally 40%, 20%. Like, this is one of the most accurate indicators on GME. So I would advise you guys, not financial advice, actually. Let's take that back. I would encourage you guys to do your own due diligence and look at this indicator, guys. Whenever people talk about their own indicators, I get a little like, ugh, right? It's gross. But if you can find existing indicators that work, this is one of my favorites. So this is what I would personally vouch for. Is the weekly MACD. And you're almost getting that cross. So you're getting the turn and that swing of bullish momentum from this breakout. So that's what we're watching for if you are on the bullish side for GameStop. on the daily, you still have that green cross. It's a beautiful thing, and you're above the 9-day EMA. So that is short-term bullish, guys. Anything on the 1 hour? You got a golden cross in the 1 hour. You're bumping your head directly on the shelf of the 4-hour 200-day EMA. If you find consolidation here on the short term, maybe flag out. I would anticipate this 50-day EMA to catch you and to have that 4-hour golden cross, the first one since your breakout back here. And that would be a very good sign for the bulls. If you had that on the 4-hour, that would, for me, hopefully bring in a little bit more volume to the stock and add as more liquidity if you were going to challenge this $23 previous trend line, right, that you bounced and then came back and rejected. So that's going to be huge, guys, huge for GameStop. Let's get into AMC here, guys, and then we're getting into the turkey, right? AMC sees another green day off of this touch of weekly bullish divergence on the RSI, and it is a very good sign for the AMC bulls. Although lower volume here, you are above the 9-day EMA, guys. Officially flipped it, which is one of the best signs that you could be finding a reversal here at least until 250. You have not flipped successfully and closed above the 9-day EMA since late October, guys. October 21st, and then you rejected it just like that. Thanos snapped, right? Happened back here. Got above it. Thanos snapped. This was your other time when you got above it. Thanos snapped. So our ability to hold the 9-day EMA is going to be absolutely pivotal to whether or not this thing can sustain a couple of days of rally, right? And what I had said that I think will happen on AMC is something along the lines of this. You come up to this trend line, you reject because this was your previous support, now new resistance, come down to this new neckline, right, of support, form an inverse head and shoulders. And then from that, right, from that, come back up and create this inverse head and shoulders, put it on your new neckline, and that would take you almost directly into the 200-day EMA, guys, for one of the most important tests of your lifetime. If that happens, in my opinion, the bottom is in on AMC. Our theory would be correct on the weekly MACD or the weekly RSI acting as your bottoming formation on the macro. As you can see here, your triple bottom, your triple bottom, as well as, if I pull it up on Trading View, what we were watching for this, guys, has been over the span of the last couple weeks, and I've kind of refused to cover AMC until I saw this develop, while you've now seen it develop. And it's developed in a very positive manner here, guys. As you can see, you've gotten your 1, 2, 3, 4 touches along this RSI uptrend, and your third touch of bullish weekly RSI divergence for the first time. For the first time since back here. And for the first time at your bottom since back in 2020. This was your second run of hidden bullish or bullish divergence, the weekly time frame for the RSI. You had it here where you made a lower low in price, but a higher low in the RSI. This is just one example of how AMC treats this in the weekly. You then shot, guys, 180%. Are you freaking kidding me, right? And so this is just one example. You had another one back here where you shot 170%, right? Another example here. Price makes a lower low. RSI makes a higher low, right? You shot 800%. So we have not seen any kind of reaction just yet. And we have not seen any kind of bullish momentum come into the stock from not just the one touch, but your several touches along this uptrend on the RSI gets me genuinely excited, guys, because these are the kind of things you look for when you're looking for this reversal signal or this bullish bottom. So the fact that you're doing it while also holding this trend line, this supportive trend line, is a very, very good sign on AMC's weekly. So that is all we're going to cover on AMC's weekly. We can go to the daily here in just a second. AMC. You see the daily cross of the MACD here, while also seeing the touch down of volume. So a good and a bad, right? On the weekly time frame, closing above exactly where you have to. Monthly time frame, we already know. Quarterly time frame is what I will continue to pound the drum on, guys, and it is that you are almost getting that quarterly MACD cross for the first time since 2021 of March, when you saw a 400% run in this stock. I think it's almost overdue, right? I mean, truth be told, you see a lot of these similarities between these two bottoming formations. And regardless of what the fundamentals are telling me, the chart is saying another story. So it's almost like a who knows, right? Who knows the news? Because so many times you see these macro indicators signal a bottom before anyone knows the news. And I'm questioning of, does somebody know something? Acquisition, debt raising, right? Anything that can help get you out of these depressive lows and help create this U-shaped accumulation pattern just like it did back here. That is what we're watching for AMC. Nothing is confirmed by any means. Do your own due diligence. Take your own risk, right? But I like the risk to reward here. That is all I got for today, guys. God bless you and your family and your mother and your brother, right? Take the time to genuinely enjoy yourself. Eat, right? Eat food. Bask in what matters, right? This is all just trading. But before anything, right, family matters first. So I just want to say thank you, guys. God bless you guys. Let's slap the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Much love. Peace.